Alright, so today I'll be showing you about basics of view models, how they work, what to do, some things like that. Actually, it's not really simple. It's starting to get kind of complicated. Right now, I am still pretty new at this, so I don't know everything, but I do know enough to teach you guys some stuff and pass it on down, so that other people can also use models on CSS and other things like that, modify them to their liking. Overall it kind of really improves something. After a while it gets kind of boring doing CSS gun after CSS gun, only 4 animations per gun, even with pistols, it just, after a while, it just sucks. So with this, you can do a ton of crazy things, like you can take the scope off of a hunting rifle or scout or M24 or anything like that. You can shorten the barrel and make it like sawed off. You can put an EOTech on it if you really want to. You can change the reload animations around and all that other good shit. It really does improve your weapons as well. You can only do so much with code, and then after that, modeling really improves everything else. So, I will start to go into that now. So first things first, you need to know how to decompile and compile models, which requires GUI Studio Model and Model Decompiler. I did download the new one, which is really nice. I won't have any unable to load model errors anymore. And also it turns out that I don't need to, well, from when I was messing with it, I don't have to re-origin the weapon every single time I decompile it, which is really nice. So, now I will open this guy up. And I already have this all set. The paths are all set. So what I did was I'm going to dump it right before the weapons folder. So it's in the same directory pretty much, except one folder behind. Now I'm going to extract it. Loaded model. Completed dumping model. Simple as that. Alright. So now that that's done, it's all right here. Very similar to the world model, except you have a lot more sequences like draw, idle, reload, shoot empty, shoot 1, shoot 2. But some of the guns I have even more sequences. For example, the Springfield. See, this is what makes it fun. Okay. Now, you are able to add more from this. Like right now, I can just think off the top of my head, draw, you can reverse it, do holster. You can do draw empty, holster empty, idle empty, reload, reload empty, shoot empty, shoot 1, shoot 2. And from there you can do a lot of stuff. So, I'll show you that later, but for now, just decompiling compiling the model is pretty important. Alright, so with this right here, it's a lot more complicated than the world model one, but it's easy to figure out after going through it once. Right here, current directory, which is set from when you decompile it. Now, the hexing you can do right here. Simple enough. So I want to call it bpist Ruger 22. You don't have to change the reference around. Studios ref.smd. Actually, but what I will do is change it to ref new, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with that later. So right here, I want to hex the textures, which I'll also show you. It's very simple, because I don't want to replace the 5.7. This stays there. That's for the hands model, the CSS hands. Unless you want to do a custom hand skin, then you can change that to whatever you want. Hitbox, those stay the same. These you don't touch, that just stays there. Attachment 1, attachment 2, muzzle flash, shell eject, those are already set. Surface prop default, that does really nothing. This is the illumination position, it's already set, so you're good. And now the sequences. The sequences you'll find are, just regular Half-Life 2 sequences, source sequences. I'll leave a link in the description for a whole list of act VMs that you can use in Gmod. But these are the simple ones you'll find: idle, primary attack, Fly, fire, reload, draw. And also with mine, holster, other little things. Okay. So, people are wondering, how come I get errors when I shoot out shells? And that's because of this. This uses the CSS shells right here. And it was implemented in Gmod by Gary without him thinking about it. So what I like to do is make my own shells and delete this. And right here, this is the reload. When I was talking about sound hexing right here, this is what is referenced. And this is what I showed you in XVI32. So what I'm going to do is hex this right here. And with these, since you are editing the model itself, you don't have to worry about the number of characters. You can do how many ever characters you want. Simple enough. Okay. So, with these sequences, what it is the sequence name, then the name of the sequence in here, and then the animation name, primary tag, holster, whatever, how many times you want to play it, which is 1, frames per second, 36. Now with this, you can change it to 50 if you want to go really fast, or 10 if you want to go really slow. You kind of have to work with it. It's not one of those instant things. Alright, so from there, that's all good. I don't think I have to origin it, but if you ever wanted to know, you could do origin 000 -90. That's usually what's done. But since I do not need it today, I will not include it. Alright, so this looks pretty much done to me, other than something I'm missing, which is snap. Which snap is very good for fire animations. What it does is makes it so they do not blend together, because when they blend together, it looks very mushy, looks very weird. So you only wanted to do that to the fire animations. It's very important, it's missed out, and it really does piss me off when people do that in CSS models, everything else. So what I want to do is actually speed up the fire on this before I do it. Alright, so now this is all done, and I want to change this actually back to ref. I forgot about that. Okay, now I'm done. So now what I want to do is compile the model, which is using GUI Studio Model. I'm going to load this. It's already all set up. And I'm going to compile it. And it works the first time, which is really nice. Alright, so now I'm going to go into Source SDK, Model Viewer, and I'm going to view my new model, which I saved in the CSS folder. And it's right here. Okay. Look at that. I'm going to go into view model mode. And I do not have a texture on it right now. I did not put the textures in the CSS folder. But you can see it does work. So you have the draw, the idle, the reload, the shoot again, and the shoot empty, which is not working. Probably because the guy that did it was not, didn't care about that. So, okay, that's it. So, my next video I'll go over how to change this model around a bit, and I shall see you next time.